because they've got to be able to test out future LSAT questions. They can't just keep reusing the same ones in the bank endlessly because people are eventually going to start seeing repeats, and that affects the legitimacy of the exam. So as LSAC is adding on that fourth unscored experimental section, they're giving it a different name. LSAT-Flex was the 3-section exam with all sections being scored, administered from the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the first LSAT-Flex being in May 2020, and the last LSAT-Flex will be June 2021. But starting with the August 2021 LSAT-Flex, starting with the August LSAT, it will no longer be called the LSAT-Flex. It will simply be the LSAT. They're calling it the LSAT because they have changed the format fundamentally, reintroducing that fourth unscored experimental section, which can be in any part of the exam, first, second, third, or fourth. It can be before the break or after the break, and it can be any one of logic games, logical reasoning, or reading comprehension. The point of adding back in that experimental section and ending the LSAT-Flex is so they can test out future questions for future administrations, or rather than endlessly recycling and reusing the same old questions. This will also allow them to potentially, if they so choose, release LSAT questions to test takers in the future. The last released LSAT exams were Prep Test 89 and then the May 2020 LSAT-Flex sample in Law Hub. That's it. And so if they want to keep putting out those books of 10 exams, or they want to keep adding to their library, they've also got to create more questions and be able to release those questions at the very same time. So if you want to take the LSAT without that unscored experimental section, when you don't know which one it'll be, you want to take it by June 2021. That's the last chance to take it without the unscored experimental section. Starting in August and beyond, it will have that unscored experimental section. And so 25% of the time that you invest in your LSAT will be wasted, and you won't know which 25% it is, which is unfortunate. But this is unfortunately a common practice that many test administrations many testing organizations have to offer in order to be able to make sure that future questions they administer are fair and unbiased and best reflect the purposes the exam is meant to serve. So that's why LSAT-Flex is ending, but it will still be online at home with the format for the foreseeable future. LSAC has confirmed that the LSAT will be online as far as June 2022, and it will have this format of 3 scored sections, 1 unknown, 1 unscored experimental section for the foreseeable future, at least the next few years. Any questions, reach out. I'm happy to help.